In this tutorial, we're going to go over how to select properties in both Craigslist and Zillow. We're going to explain the type of properties that we're interested in, what they look like, and different factors to take a look at when you're reviewing an ad. We're going to start in Craigslist and move our way through each section. So the rental section, followed by the for sale by owner, and then over to Zillow for the rental section, and then the make me an offer section. So first, we're going to go ahead and jump into Craigslist. Right now, I already have it set up for the Portland area Craigslist. Now, this is going to change depending on the city that you're in. The keywords are always going to remain the same, but depending on what city we have you working in, the rent range is going to change, and then the average purchase price that we're going to look for is also going to change. So make sure you're paying attention to the training document you receive. Each one will have that information updated to reflect the market that you're working in. So as we go through here, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of these listings, and we're going to find a couple that work for us, and we're going to find some that don't. First one that I see here that I want to cover is this one here that states a remodeled 3-bedroom, 1-bath home with large fenced yard. We're not interested in that. The reason why is if you see anything in the title with the description like remodeled, updated, recently renovated, things along those lines in the description are properties that we're not interested in, because what we want to do is buy them to remodel them, update them, or renovate them. So we're looking for them in pretty poor condition. We don't want anything that's very nice. So as we open this particular one up, it's actually not that nice of a property, but they have updated it to some extent. So as we're going through here and looking at this ad, you can see first and foremost, it's a property management company, in this case, Blue Key Property Management. Let's see. As you can see here, it's going through it again. It was remodeled, new pergo floors, newer kitchen, newer cabinets, countertops, things along those lines. All the things that we would typically do, which is why this isn't a particular property that we're going to have much interest in. You see how it's very nice inside. Newer cabinets, newer countertops, fresh paint. It looks new. It looks clean. All the things that we have no interest in. So this would be one that you would skip. We would not have any interest in this particular property. So let's see if we can find one that looks good. Okay, here's another property. Again, you can see how it's got nice granite countertops. It's got newer cabinets, newer paint, clean floors. Same here, clean floors. And it's not something we would be interested in for that particular reason. Now, looking through the descriptions, you want to go ahead and see if it states anything that states updated. In this case right here, this house has been lovingly restored and updated. Those kinds of keywords are things that are going to let you know that this isn't going to be a property that we have interested in. So you would skip over this one and keep going until you find something that does fit the type of property that we're looking for. So as we continue to look through, here's another one. Let's look through the description here. Again, and this one features new flooring, ample cabinetry, refrigerator shelf, and an island for a great conversation. Now, looking at the pictures, it looks fairly nice from the outside. It's not that nice inside. So this is one we would be interested. This is very old cabinetry. These are very cheap pieces of countertop. The flooring itself is junk, and you can see how it looks damaged and distressed right here. If you continue to go through it, it just looks older and not as nice. Same in this particular room. It's very old. This isn't, this has obviously been damaged due to the weather on the deck. It's not an ideal property for us. but this is one that you would include on the list. This kind of wood paneling on the doors and the closets. It's very old. It's very tough. Nobody's really interested in it. Same in here. A lot of this is very, very old. And this wood paneling here on the wall, all of this wood paneling, this is going to be an interesting property for us because of that. It's very hard to sell a property with that. So this would be a candidate that we would accept based on those factors. So you would go ahead and include this on the spreadsheet, and then you move over to another one. Uh, let's take it this one. See, this one, again, is one that we would skip over. It looks very new from the outside, from all the floors, the paint. Everything looks clean, updated to a modern style. You can see here where it's modern updates, finished basement. We would skip over this one as well for that particular reason. And you just keep going through these. Fully updated, we would pass over. Um, let's take a look at this Eastmoreland Cape Cod and see if we can find anything here. This particular property, there's really nothing in here, which is going to indicate that it's been updated. It's been kept up, but everything on this is old. You can look at this kitchen; it's very old. You can tell by the stove here, and it's just not phenomenally kept. It's kind of old. So this would be something you would include because it's got a lot of the older feel and it hasn't been updated. So we would include this. You would take this information and go ahead and put it in. So we're going to go over to the for sale by owner section now and take a look at some property there. Um, Now, when you're over here, make sure to get rid of anything here. You can typically just put in 3+ bedrooms and leave the negative keywords here. And again, you're going to want to do Multnomah County, Washington County, and Clackamas County individually. It's much easier to do that. So when we're coming through here, you're going to be looking at properties, generally speaking, 100,000 up to say 500,000. It'll vary depending on the market, and we'll have some information in there for you to go ahead and take a look at. So let's go ahead and click on the property. Okay, this particular one is tough to gauge. This is actually an advertisement for something, so skip over something like this. They're advertising for a class. It's not an actual property for sale. So this is, again, something for sale outside. When you see something like Cabo San Lucas, it's an advertisement for somewhere else. It's not something that we would be interested in. Let's try this one. Okay, this particular property, it's not in bad condition. It's not amazing. It's got this ugly wood paneling. It's not brand new. You can see the kitchen's kind of outdated. This would be a particular property that we would have interests in. This is something that we would contact. So you would want to include this property in the spreadsheet. Continually moving along, when we see something along the lines of this property, looks a little dingy from the outside. It's potentially something that we could work with. Let's continue to look through the photos. Kitchen's not bad. The wood trim, it's okay. This is a multifamily, so it is something that this would be something that we would potentially consider. It is a multifamily, which is fine. We do look at multifamily units. This would be one you'd want to include. Let's find one that you want to exclude. Okay, so when you see new construction or anything brand new, Don't even waste your time here. It's brand new. This isn't even built yet. We have zero interest in anything along those lines. Nothing brand new. Um, this particular property is somewhat new. It's not really outdated. It's really not something that we would really be that interested in. Um, the only thing we would potentially be looking at is the fact that it's a lease to purchase. So anytime you see a lease to purchase anywhere, include that in the list. It may not be dingy, it may not look old, but we are looking for lease option potential transactions. Now, you're going to come across stuff like this: wanted cash buyers for fixers. With these, don't really do anything with them. They're property wholesalers. Same here. So this particular property, um, it looks like is a wholesale transaction. And stay away from anything that says manufactured home. So this isn't anything that we would have an interest in. It's just not something we do. When you come down here where it says $40,000 under market value, this guy does not own this property. He's just marketing it to try to sell it. He's making a profit on the transaction, and it's really not that great of a deal. So avoid these. However, write down their information on a separate spreadsheet because we do want to keep track of other individuals that are selling things in our market. Here's another one on a property that we would not have any interest in. You can tell right by the description that it says beautifully remodeled home. We don't, unfortunately, have any need for remodeled properties. It's just not something that we can do anything with. So you would skip over that. So the idea is to stick away from properties that have been remodeled or updated, anything that's new. We want things that are going to need to be fixed. And that's what we're pretty much looking for here in Craigslist. Now I'm going to jump over to Zillow so we can take a peek in here and then kind of cover what we're going to be looking for in here.